Welcome to this week's edition of Outdoors Online, a weekly webcast produced by the North Dakota Game and Fish Department. I'm your host, Tom Jensen. My guest this week is Jeb Williams. Jeb is the Wildlife Division Chief at Game and Fish. We're going to talk about mountain lions this week. Jeb, first of all, let's give the viewers some background on mountain lions in North Dakota. Now, the seasons that we have now haven't always been there.
That's correct, Tom. Yeah, since 2005 is when we had our first seasons in North Dakota, and so we've had a few changes since 2005, but started pretty slow, pretty conservatively in 2005, and now we know a few more things after a 10-year period of time.
Just provided another new and unique opportunity for North Dakota hunters.
Well, for sure. I mean, there definitely is a unique opportunity that people have not had an opportunity. And we knew there was a lot of people in North Dakota that maybe went other places and other states to pursue that opportunity, but actually having that opportunity now in Western North Dakota was definitely unique for a lot of folks.
For the past several years, you and your crews have been doing some studies in the Badlands on mountain lions and things. Now you're starting to assimilate all this data that's coming in. What are you finding out?
Well, it's been a pretty interesting process since 2010, 2011. Had the first research project underway, and the first big challenge, of course, is when you're trying to find out about mountain lions, any type of cats really, is they're pretty secretive in nature, and so trying to get some data and information associated with species like that is difficult. And so the best way to do so is to put some collars on those lions. But having said that, that's not a real easy process either.
I was going to say, now people out there are going, how do you get a collar on a mountain lion?
Yeah,
and it is a unique process.
It is. It's unique and it's challenging. But we partnered with South Dakota State University, that actually had, of course, a lot of experience with that, with their research that they conducted for the South Dakota Game Fish and Parks. And so we knew that we were with a good university that had some experience doing that, and had some good research students that were going to be very well versed and well educated with the advice they were getting from folks back at SDSU. So over time, the department and the research did gather quite a bit of data with collared mountain lions in western part of the state, which really helped us evaluate several different things as far as food habits, of course, and that didn't really come back a big surprise. The majority of what they're eating out there is deer, and that's really not much different from other states and other research projects that have gone on with mountain lions.
Sure.
And and just kind of looking at their home ranges, looking at where they're established and where they are in North Dakota. I mean, we knew in general terms where mountain lions were out there, but this really helped the department pinpoint where they really are liking to spend a lot of their time, and that's something we really want to share with the public.
You found out more about populations too.
Yeah, absolutely, and survival, that's a big thing. Survival rates, and that's one thing that came from the research project, is their survival rates are not that high, and based on the mortality that we've had associated with hunting seasons and incidental take and other areas. But I mean, obviously our hunting seasons has accounted for the majority of mortality out there, and so the survival rate is something that definitely caught our attention, as biologists, and knowing what it takes to make sure that we maintain that, our baseline responsibility of making sure we maintain mountain lions at with a breeding population. Obviously, the Game and Fish Department does not want to be a part of extirpating mountain lions out of North Dakota, which has been done before.
This is something that you want to talk to the public about. So you've come up with a series of meetings that are going to take place very soon.
Correct. Yeah, we think, Tom, that we've learned a lot over the last 10 years. We think the public has learned a lot over the last 10 years. And mountain lion management and mountain lions in general were, to put it mildly, received a lot of discussion around a lot of coffee tables in North Dakota. I mean, this was new for a lot of people, and obviously mountain lions in general deserve a lot of respect. They're a high-level predator that at times, of course, have some human interactions, can at times have had some livestock interactions. And so this isn't something that we took lightly. This is something that the department needed to take very seriously, and with a high level of respect given to that critter, and also to our residents of North Dakota, both from a hunting opportunity, but also from an educational opportunity of having something like this back on the landscape in western North Dakota with the numbers that we were seeing.
Now, when you get to these meetings, what kind of questions are you anticipating getting from the public? You're going to have ranchers there, you're going to have people, there is a meeting in the eastern part of the state. The questions are going to be very varied and very diverse.
Yeah, and that's a good discussion topic, Tom, because that's one of the reasons we wanted to have these informational meetings in different parts of the state. Obviously the eastern part of the state is, we have our population, majority of our population lives there, and Bismarck, of course, again, central part of the state, high population, but then the western part of the state, obviously that's where mountain lions, that's where they're living, and they potentially have the bigger impact on folks that are living in that part of the state. And so that's why we chose to have one right in Killdeer, knowing that it's close to Dickinson. People can travel up from Dickinson. It's close to Watford City. We want to make sure that the ranchers in that area have what we call a reasonable opportunity to come to one of these meetings to be able to provide us with some input, but then to also listen to what our research has been telling us over the last number of years. And so we're looking forward to a good discussion, and what I look to as just a very transparent, open session to what we've known, what we found out in the last 10 years when it comes to mountain lion management.
As you proceed with the Balancing Act, now you're going to gather input from the public. Are you going to use this possibly to maybe raise quotas, lower quotas?
Well, of course, our baseline responsibility, Tom, is to making sure that we have a breeding population of mountain lions, and
right.
And that is our baseline responsibility, and we will certainly take into consideration the public input once we feel we have a comfort level associated with that. But we, in the big scheme of things, we don't have a big population of mountain lions. We have a small part of the state that mountain lions have really taken a liking to, and our research shows that. We know that there is definitely a hot spot in North Dakota for mountain lions, and once the department feels comfortable knowing that we have sustained that population, we certainly take input as far as where the public would like to see us manage that population. We do that with deer. We do that, knowing that we have our information that's provided for deer, but then we also know that there is a social tolerance associated with deer when it comes to the private landowner community. We maybe have biological data that shows that our deer population is going down in particular units. But if we don't have that social tolerance from the private landowner community in that area, we need to take that into consideration to make sure that tolerance level is okay with the private landowners.
So if something's on your mind concerning mountain lions, go to a meeting and speak your piece.
Yeah, again, we're looking for that input, but we're also, the main goal is for us to provide information to people of what we've found out and what we know over the last 10 years. And I think people will appreciate that. I think they'll enjoy it. Stephanie Tucker, our fur bear biologist, is a wonderful presenter, has very good knowledge and handle on mountain lions in North Dakota. I think people will really enjoy listening to the discussion.
Jeb, thanks.
Thank you, Tom.
Here are the dates and times for the mountain lion meetings that Jeb mentioned earlier. The first will be held in the Game and Fish Auditorium in Bismarck on Tuesday, February 23rd at 7 p.m. The second will move to the eastern part of the state. It'll be held the very next night, February 24th at 7 p.m. at the Fargo Holiday Inn. And the third and final meeting will take place in the heart of mountain lion country. It'll be held at the Killdeer Cobblestone Hotel on Monday, February 29th at 7 p.m. If you have questions of the game and fish biologists, or you just want to add input on the mountain lion issue, attend one of those meetings and speak your piece. For Jeb Williams and the rest of the staff here at North Dakota Game and Fish, thanks for joining us for Outdoors Online. We'll see you again next week.